Hey friends, what's going on? Elvis here. So today I'm going to show you some Sombra tips. A lot of people have seen my videos and asked, how can I aim better at Sombra? So I want to immediately acknowledge and just say that I'm not the best Sombra player. I'm very, very far away from it. So these tips, take them as lightly as you want. It's just stuff that I've learned along the way. Now, first of all, the best way to get better at aim is extremely obvious. Play the game a lot more. As you can see, I'm on my main account instead of the friend account, and I've played a ton of hours. But there still are some pretty cool tips that I picked up on the way. Now, when you're playing McCree, you want to get your flick shots down like that. So it's kind of a little bit the same with Sombra in terms of map awareness. You want to be able to jump onto the other target extremely quickly like that. So just practice muscle memory on how to snap. So when I'm playing Sombra, I find that her bullets feel a lot like Tracer. But the cool thing about Sombra is that you've got a little bit more distance. Now there is a lot of spread when it does come to Sombra, but you've got a little bit more distance to play with. For example, if you're playing Tracer, you want to kind of sit at about this area here and get close. Yeah, Sombra's cool with just sitting back here. Like, you still do a whole heap of damage. As you can see, I like to think about it as about the distance between a McCree roll and then flashbang. You want to stay away. That's how I generally see it. Now, when you are actually aiming, obviously you do want to try and get as many critical hits as you can. So instead of trying to track the top of the head and missing out on those like micro upwards bullets that just kind of miss, you want to aim for the shoulders, guys. You land way more headshots that way, and if you miss, you still get body shots instead of having dead bullets flying everywhere. Basically, when you're strafing, if you think about a car going 100 kilometers an hour and you're moving against it, then there's a 200 kilometer an hour speed difference. So this applies to when you're tracking as well. It's a lot harder and a lot more mouse movement when you are going the opposite direction. So let me show you an example when this little guy spawns, but if you're moving with it, I mean, you're not even aiming technically. What I found my personal playstyle is that I aim a lot more with my arrows than I do with my mouse. So my mouse is kind of making micro adjustments, but yeah, I'm really tracking with my arrow keys. So I'm trying to mimic their movement as much as possible, and you'll see that in my gameplay. I'm actually mimicking their movement. So when they jump, I jump as well. Okay, so a lot of these things feel like really simple ideas, and they are, but what happens is when you internalize them and do them all together, it starts to make a big difference. Lots of little things make a big difference. So, for example, I'm tracking the character, I'm going for the shoulders, and I'm concentrating on where all the other enemy bots are at the same time. All of this stuff will add up and make a big difference. So even when you're in spawn and there's basketballs and everyone's just kind of breaking stuff, just try practicing tracking against your heroes while you're waiting in spawn. Just get an extra little bit of practice in each game. I mean, start shooting the basketballs and trying to accurately track them. Just put in as many hours as you can. When you're not playing Sombra, play other heroes that the skills directly transfer over to, like Tracer and Zarya. I find Soldier 76 not so much because he is kind of a little bit more, longer range. You're kind of sitting a little bit back here and you're pulsing every 5 bullets or so. But yeah, spend more time on characters when you're not playing Sombra. Okay, so for the last tip, I think this is extremely important to understand. Sombra will never get buffed in terms of her DPS to align with, say, Tracer, McCree, or Soldier 76. There's a really good reason for it, because if you're playing Sombra, you get the first shot. You're a stealth character. If they buffed her DPS to match these other heroes, what would happen is she'd be extremely frustrating to play against. It would annoy new players. It'll just never happen. Now, it is very hard to kill a target with Sombra with your low damage in one clip. It's very, very hard unless it's like a Zenyatta or a very low health squishy character, but you really do have to land all of your aim. I think a lot of people really underestimate how much damage Sombra does with range. It's not crazy, there's a whole lot of spread, but this isn't Tracer DPS. You actually can shoot targets from a long way away and still finish them off. So anyway, friends, to finish up the video, here's some simple stuff. I've got 5 sensitivity in game. I just moved it up from 4. I've got a $20 mouse. I'll put a link to my Sombra playlist. So if you're interested in checking out some gameplay, getting a few more tips and that kind of stuff, it's there anyway if you want to see it. So cool. Thanks for watching. See you, friends.